Make no mistake about it, the quality of your nutritional health will absolutely impact the quality of your sex life. And we know that an optimal sexual response definitely requires a healthy cardiovascular system and a healthy neurologic system. And your nutritional and your dietary choices can definitely make or break both of those. And it's interesting. Hippocrates said that what's good for the heart is good for the brain. And we now know he was dead on correct. And what a beautiful thing to know that the superstar foods for your body's CEO, which is the brain, are really across the board the same ones that are the superstar foods for your body's COO, which is the heart. And Dr. Ann says what's good for your heart is good for your brain is great for your sex life. So along those lines of thinking about foods that are really good for cardiovascular health and really good for neurologic health, there are certain foods that just pop right off the page as being particularly potent, right? And that's what we're after, potency. All right, so what's the first one? Monounsaturated fats. These make me healthier. These are fats that are positively, actively, demonstrably super healthy, especially for heart health, artery health, and brain health. And there are only 4 foods that qualify as monounsaturated fats. So what are they? Extra virgin olive oil, canola oil, nuts and seeds, and avocados. So include those foods regularly. Second on my list as foods for better sex would be fruits and veggies. And if you know anything about nutrition, you would have guessed that those would have made the list. And fruits and veggies have so many separate benefits for both the cardiovascular system and the nervous system. Again, it will take me too long to tell you about them because there are about 8 for each one. And the key here is to include as many and as much variety in your life as you can. And go for ones with the deepest, richest color, because that color identifies the ones that are typically the very, very best for you. Okay? Third food, oily fish. Oily fish, which are fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel, sardines, herring, lake trout. Just spectacular, in my opinion, for sexual health, because really a few features. First of all, they're exploding with these omega-3 fats, which are the darling of the healthy fat world. They play a critical role in cardiovascular health and brain health. And again, oily fish just chock full. The second thing about oily fish that I think most people aren't aware of, but you better believe I'm aware of it, is that they are really nature's only food source of vitamin D. And there's a lot of really exciting things going on with vitamin D, and a couple of exciting things that we're seeing are that it's very important for cardiovascular health and very important for brain health. So that's another feature of oily fish, and it's a lot of vitamin D. One serving of oily fish gives you about more than a day's worth of your vitamin D. The other thing, it's got a lot of zinc in it, right? Men know that zinc helps them with their testosterone production. So again, lots of compelling reasons to include oily fish and do it regularly. The next food on the list is dark chocolate, and I have founded the charter chapter of Dark Chocolates Anonymous because I am completely addicted to it. But my husband is happy because I do think dark chocolate is a good food for sex. And why? There are several features about it. First of all, everyone needs to know, and I'm sure you probably do know, that an optimal sexual response requires optimal blood flow. I mean, at the end of the day, guess what? How do these drugs like Viagra and the other sexual dysfunction drugs work? They work by boosting blood flow. Well, chocolate does the same thing because the antioxidants in there really sort of work magic on the cells that line your arteries, and those arteries open up and blood flow increases. The other great thing about dark chocolate is it just makes you feel good. We know that it kind of boosts levels of serotonin and endorphins, and I think the better you feel, the more likely you are to want to have sex. The fifth food on the list is tea. And it's along the lines of dark chocolate in that tea has very potent phytochemicals. They're called catechins that have favorable effects on your arteries, ultimately can increase blood flow. It's also very good. Any antioxidant food is very, very good for the brain. The brain has more oxidative stress than any area of the body, so keep that in mind. The other thing I want to mention here is that there are definitely sex-busting foods foods that I can assure you, if you include them regularly, may have a negative effect on how well you perform under the sheets. And what are they? And they tend to be the typical repeat offenders. The same foods that we see popping up over and over and over, whether we're talking about heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, getting fat. It's these foods. What are they? Trans fats, saturated fats, those refined carbs like white flour products, white rice, a lot of white potatoes, and of course sugar, and then excess alcohol. Drinking alcohol in excess, it definitely is a bummer for having fun sexually. So I hope that helps you in the quality of your sex life. And until next time, this is Dr. Ann for ICU. Remember, you are the only person that can make you healthy, so take charge of your health.